Safe.
We got you up. Thank you for that prayer. Okay, well, we'll start the meeting. We'll call the meeting to order. It is 9:25 a.m. Michael, do you want to do roll call, please? District 1.
Here.
District 2.
Here.
District 3.
Here.
I'm here, Chairman. We have a quorum. Thank you. Next up is a review and approval of the agenda. Any additions or deletions?
Mr. Chairman, I don't know if we should, we can probably do it on Tuesday of next week, but we needed to talk about that, the ranch, those trailer houses up there. We can maybe do that on Tuesday, you think?
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
We'll just talk about it on Tuesday when everybody, okay, we got you.
Okay. I know Andrea has some stuff to talk about, or Laura Lee.
So on the consent agenda under human services, there's a 2025 USDA or USDA grant and resolution, and in the resolution, it talks about the money and then there's a match, but that information wasn't in there. So from my understanding, there is a resolution that was amended. So if we can move that to new business. And then under legal, there is an LLC MRD properties that I have questions about, if we can move that to executive session. And then there's a business license removal that I have questions about also, if we can move that to executive session too.
In the consent agenda.
On the consent agenda, yeah. Good. Please.
Mr. Chairman, I have on some statistical data from the enrollment's office. I guess we'll just, I don't know if I got the agenda or if I want to request some statistical data. And then, I guess it's already on the agenda, land discussion on the agenda. A couple questions about that.
You want to move that to where, to new business?
No, I think, it's gonna be an executive anyway, enrollments.
You want to move it to like?
Oh, I'm just letting you know, I got a request to.
Oh, okay, so we can do that on Tuesday, can't we?
Open.
Yeah, future request, okay. We'll add it to new business.
Okay.
What are we adding it to?
Enrollment data. He just wants to compile some data.
Yeah, I just want some, yeah. All right, I'm sorry.
Not giving no name. I don't know.
No, just
Numbers, huh?
Yeah, numbers.
You have a request, I mean, do we have a request to get the chairman? Do you have a request to get her?
Mike, there's
Yeah, no, this one's just for our own.
Chairman, I'd like to request to add work comp designation resolution under new business. 3 signatory requests regarding IHS, a NOAA grant and eminence credentials to new business, an MCT letter request under new business, and then adding to executive session, testing regulation, analyte testing standards resolution, and then a MPCA comment letter.
Do you have copies of all that?
Some of it.
Okay.
I have originals right here that she provided, if you guys want to review them.
Okay. With all that said and added, motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with the changes.
Motion by Laura Lee to approve the agenda with changes.
Mr. Chairman, what did we do with the data?
moved it to-
You put it on the agenda then?
Yeah, we put it up on new business.
Okay, you did, okay, all right.
So it's a discussion.
Okay, I'll second that.
Second by Mike, all in favor?
All right.
Motion carries, thank you. Next up is the reviewing the meeting minutes for 7/26/24.
We should have moved that for permit. Keep talking about permit. All that. Yep, sure.
The returns composition. Like the. As far as the. Okay, comp.
All the money. You don't make all the money. Cannabis regulations for corn.
Okay, motion to approve the meeting minutes for 7/26 of 24.
Motion.
Motion by Henry. Second by Laura Lee, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Next up is new, old business, we have nothing there, but new business, we have enrollment data request by District 2.
Yeah, I'd like to make a request on enrollment numbers. How many members are above the 50% blood quantum? How many members are at at the 25% to 50% blood quantum? And how many members are under the 25% blood quantum? That's the information I'm requesting.
Council, any discussion on that? I know that would, Eugene, I know those numbers because these are very similar to other ones I want to talk about too, is I wanted to request some information from Shannon about the tribal elders. You know, how many elders that we have 55 and over too. So it's kind of similar down the same path of, you know, how many elders are we that we're serving and how many others that live on and off the reservation. So something similar to that, so.
I know the data that we got at MCT is by age. You know, how many kids we have, how many under 10, how many over 10, how many over 18, how many over 21, how many elders. I think that data's, MCT's got that data, so I think what he's requesting is how much, you know, with who's over 50%, who's at a quarter of the law, like that, so.
Yeah, and that's reasonable, so.
Yeah.
So motion to approve the request, council.
Motion.
Motion by Henry,
Second.
second by Mike, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Eugene, for that. All right, next up is the USDA 2025 grant. Andrea, did you want?
So if I recall correctly, I think that this was Gloria's request. And so the original resolution that's in your packet doesn't specifically lay out the specific numbers. So we updated the resolution this morning to include that there's a 20% match for that specific grant. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but it should be updated to be included in the resolution so that the resolution now authorizes them to apply for the grant and then to authorize, I think it's a 20% match from the general fund. And then accept the funding if it's awarded to them. So that's basically the gist of that specific resolution. It was on the consent agenda, but I think because we updated the resolution, that's why it was pulled into the new business.
Thank you, Veronica. Any questions about this, council discussion?
I have one question, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
On the authorizing signature on the same grant, I think it was Tracy Ludka and the executive director on there. Is that correct?
See that part, I just seen that the money part was missing. Just trying to pull it up.
Yeah.
Maria, the resolution, what's the amount on it?
$100,044,630.
That's our portion of it?
20%. Right, yes.
Okay. So the grant, it requires $104,000 match, $144,000 match that USDA grant. And the grant is for how much, Veronica?
So that's a 20% match, and so I think it's a 700 and something odd thousand grant from USDA.
Council, you good with that?
I think Lori's double checking who has authority to sign.
I mean, that's something that we.
The resolution would authorize
Chairman,
chairman, secretary, treasurer, executive director, and so, yeah, and executive director generally has the ability to sign documents.
So as it pertains to certification regarding the lobbying certificate for contracts, grants, and corporate agreements, my question is if this could be by an elected official to sign off rather than the executive director.
Usually
Is that
don't
in the
term lobbying.
Is that in the grant document. And I think the requester can update the signer on that.
Yes, is that recommendation from general counsel?
Well, it says chairman, secretary, treasurer, or executive director.
But on
So,
this agreement, it
Oh,
specifically says
on the
executive
agreement.
director.
oh
So
yeah,
that we can have it updated
internally
before
we'll
it's,
change that, but we can approve the resolution still.
yeah.
Right,
And
the
then just
resolution could still be approved.
And
And
I'll-
it's just for
We
them
could
to
change it.
apply for the grant and accept it if it's awarded. So all of those internal documents, if there's not comfortability with signing that document, we can certainly change it.
Thank you.
Also, any discussion on that? Motion to approve the grant with the match.
Motion.
Motion by Eugene,
Second.
second by Laura Lee, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you so much for that. Okay, next up, we have the consent agenda. Oh geez, I'm sorry. Missy, do you have an update or any elders councils have an update or? No elders, okay. All right. Okay, the work comp. We're going to talk about that.
There was a letter to NCT.
We're gonna have both of those.
He's the alternate.
Okay, so for the work comp, designation, it's an appeal hearing examiner. And, the self-insured work comp policy that the tribe has says that RBC would appoint the hearing appeal examiner. And so it's just take that step to designate who it is. And then have an alternate in case the primary one is not available.
Also, do you understand that? Motion to approve the work comp.
Motion.
Motion by Eugene, second by Henry, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Next up is,
So, there was 3 signatory requests that came in, right before, the meeting. And they're pretty straightforward. There's an IHS MOA amendment to increase dollars and some time to spend that down. And it's related to septic, systems. I didn't have time to make copies of it, just because they came in so last minute.
You say
So
septic systems?
I believe that's what it is. Maria would have the original.
more money.
More money, more time to spend. The next one is just a grant report on a broadband grant, and it's for a period, I believe, from last year. And then the final thing would be approving eminence credentials for 2 individuals. And again, the original packet would be with Maria.
Okay, motion to approve the IHS MOA award.
Motion.
Motion by Eugene,
Second.
second by Henry, all in favor? Oh, by Mike, I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna stay silent till I can actually review the documents.
Motion carries, thank you. Next up is the grant report from NOAA for energy.
That's the one.
It's a grant report.
Broadband. Oh, yeah.
Motion to approve that report.
Broadband?
Motion by Eugene,
Second.
second by Henry. All in favor?
Aye.
It's on the broad.
Figure.
Oh, I didn't see that one either, so I'm just gonna stay silent.
Motion carries. Next up is the eminence credentials, 2 individuals. They tested out, they passed. Motion to officially,
List who it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I know I had a call yesterday. Somebody asked about that, so I want to check. Make sure they got both of them on there.
There it is.
Can you read it or who it is for?
I don't know. I don't know if we can announce the name. Be protected. Okay, all right, that's the one that they're asking me about. I'll get it to her.
You want to look at it?
Oh,
It's not. Yeah. I'll talk about it and then I'll.
Motion to approve the two individuals that got their eminence credentials. That passed yesterday.
Motion.
Motion by Eugene,
Second.
second by Laurent. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay. Ronnie, MCT letter?
Okay, so for this MCT letter, it was actually, one of the, a request that was submitted to you all, at last month's meeting, but it didn't, get reviewed, before the meeting last time, so we brought it to this meeting. But this is basically just an MCT letter, that White Earth would be signing on to. It's a tribal TANF program that they would be implementing at the MCT level. And so this was an email that, Drew Annette had sent. They're with the elderly programs. They're the executive assistant there for the Human Services Division of the MCT. And so we put it on our letterhead, and their request is to have each chairperson sign it. But basically just starting to implement a tribal TANF program at the MCT level. And I can pass that around for review as well.
Any discussion on that, Council?
Has this been discussed at the MCT level?
Off the top of my head, I don't.
Ronnie, and this is a support letter in support of this?
Right, yep, that's, and so it got distributed to all the chairpersons of the MCT bands, looks like July 24th.
Yeah, I guess we just wonder if it's been discussed as a whole as MCTO, so that.
It was in July. What day was it sent out?
24th.
24th.
Right after the EDC meeting? You
Yeah.
Sent it to the
The last.
president? You didn't.
I think the support letter is for a TANF program within the Minnesota Chippewa Tribe Human Services Division. I'm not sure if Joel, if we're doing, Mike, you know if we're doing TANF over
Would that affect our, anything on Whiter side then, like our financial services or anything? Would be my question.
I'm not sure, but if originally just having the support letter would.
What is?
I mean, we could
You
find
want to
out,
wait and just table it until, or is it something that,
did our financial services look at it in human services department?
So Mary Daniel was the person that was bringing it to the request at the last meeting. So I believe so, but I don't know.
What is TANF?
there's tribal, it's like social services, like our financial services we have here.
I mean, I just want to make sure it doesn't interfere with Whiter, you know, because we issue our financial services.
Okay, right, okay.
Yeah, it's a letter to,
Okay, the letter states, can we read the letter?
Yeah.
Okay to read the letter?
get a microphone.
All righty, from Karen Beckerman. It says, this letter is to notify you and the administration of Children and Family Regional Office of our intent for the Minnesota Chippewa Tribe Human Services Division to start a tribal TANF program. The bands will make up the MCTR, Bois Forte, Fond du Lac, Grand Portage, Leech Lake, Mille Lacs, and Whiter. The service population that the MCT Tribal TANF program shall provide services to include all individuals who are enrolled, are eligible for enrollment in the Minnesota Chippewa tribe, which include the 6 tribal bands listed above, residing in the below described service area. Our service area will include the 2 Minnesota counties of Cook and St. Louis. Within these 2 counties, our service area will include only the portions of the Bois Forte Reservation and the Fond du Lac Reservation that are in the boundaries of the St. Louis and Cook County. The service area also includes all the Grand Portage Reservation. The Minnesota Chippewa Tribe requests concurrency from the state of Minnesota to serve enrolled or eligible enrolled tribal members described in our service population above, residing on a non-reservation portions of St. Louis and Cook counties of Minnesota. The Director of Human Services Division is Evelyn Evie Campbell. This is the person on the tribal staff who will be heading up the Tribal TANF Program Initiative. We'll be working with you directly. Sounds like it's MCT's, you know, to me, it sounds like MCT's helping out the tribes that maybe don't have a TANF program. That's what it looks like.
Amy
So-
Little hasn't seen it yet.
She hasn't seen it? Okay. But it sounds like it's affecting like St. Louis County and Cook County and those 3 reservations. That's what it sounds like. It's, I guess we can get clarification on, do we need action on this for like, or can we consent it? At a later date?
It's a support.
It's just a letter, but that's what I'm saying. Can we have all the information if we get all the information on it, so.
Yeah, you guys are welcome to just table it until you get it.
What, Ronnie, what I just said, is that correct, what I just said about it's helping out these Bois Forte, Fond du Lac, and
Grand Portage.
Grand Portage?
That's my understanding. I don't, you have the only copy of the letter that I have. But that's my understanding in terms of the scope of that letter.
What we should do is we should table it, have Evelyn talk to us about it from the MCT, and you should communicate with her.
Yep.
Talk to her and then bring it back to us on Tuesday.
Yeah, check with me.
I'll check with Joel and.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And that's why I'm asking if it has to wait till the next monthly meeting, or we can consensus it.
Yeah,
And
we
then
can-
just ratify it.
it's just a support letter, so
Okay.
we don't need a resolution, so.
Mhm.
All right, thank you. Okay, well, thank you for that. Next up is the ratifications. First of all,
We done consent agenda?
yeah, consent agenda. First up is administration. We have Nato Wash Harvest Fest Powell budget service agreement. Education, we have new childcare license request, Indigenous curriculum research contract, Head Start budget revision and resolution. Finance, we have the Whiter Child Care Modular Building relocation and resolution. Nato Wash Food Shelter, A&E contract award, EAPC Architects Engineers contract resolution. We have the Ridgeway Apartment Building, EAPC Architect Engineers, Amendment number 2. We have the Scattered Mini Home Development Districts in 2 and 3 contracts resolution. We have the Christian Retreat, YHR Consulting LLC Amendment number 2. For health, we have the Connect American Contract Agreement and resolution, Nato Wash Health. The Nato Wash Clinic Transfer and Resolution. And also we have the WIC Community Innovation and Outreach Project Resolution for Human Services with the Minnesota Department of Health and Human Services Safe Harbor, additional funding of $50,000. We have the Terrell Business Certificate, Twin Lakes Diversified Builders, 2025 USDA grant resolution. Legal, we have new business license request. We have a renewal business license request, address change, and also we have 3 new LLC requests. And then also for natural resources, we have 2025 base fuels crew buy down resolution. Also, we have the 2024 BIA cooperative agreement resolution. We have the EMPG grant application resolution with 2024 fall netting seasons and resolution. We have the rear and pond lease NB. For public safety, we have the MnDOT cooperative agreement for armor subsystems and resolution. For Public Works, Nato Wash Lagoon, riprap notice and award. Long Range Transportation Plan Contract and Amendment. For TIPO, we had a 2024 retrobation. For budget, tribal reburial and resolution, Minnesota State Contract, Earth Systems Research Laboratory and resolution. 2024 Two Pines Resources Training and Resolution. 2025 Two Pines Resources Training and Resolution. For Youth Administration, we have the Nicole Martin Rogers contract. Ratifications of economic development for the broadband connection program. Annual report, we have the education, we have the fiscal waiver request letter. For finance, we have natural resources picnic shelter, Linwood Park notice and award and resolution. For human services, we have the Wederick Nation Financial Services Amendment. For public works, we have the Clark Road construction contract and resolution. So I was asking for a motion to approve the consent agenda with the changes and also the ratifications.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda with the changes. Yeah.
Okay. We'll just do the consent agenda with changes. Motion by Laura Lee.
I second.
Second by Mike. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up is a motion for the ratifications.
Motion.
Motion by Mike. Second by Henry. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. I'd like to thank everyone for coming today. I appreciate it. You know, sitting down, eating with us. I appreciate it, and have a great weekend. I'll dance hard for everyone this weekend again, so I missed last weekend, so, but I want to say miigwech and thank you. Motion to go into executive session.
Okay.
Motion by Mike. Second by Eugene. All in favor?
Aye. We take a 5?
Motion carries. Thank you.